So this is another round of Ed Puzzle, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do these two problems that are part of your homework problems. And I've got Dora over here to remind us that we're going to stop partway through, and I'll pause, and I'll ask you. And once again, if you don't do well the first time and you want to do it again, all you got to do is you got to ask me to delete your try, and I'll let you do it all over again, okay? So don't panic or anything like that. All right, so the first thing is that we're going to go ahead and on the first one, we'll make a diagram. And then on the second one, we'll use the FOIL method. All right, so I'm going to make my diagram right like this. And it's once again perfect, as always. All right, so the problem is x plus 4 multiplied by x minus 1. All right, so I'm going to pause for a second, point to Dora. What's the first step? All right, and then the question is, what goes up here? Hopefully what you said was x plus 4. So we have x, and I'm going to go ahead and add the plus just to keep track of it, but remember we're not adding at this point, we're going to be multiplying. All right, and then that makes this side have x minus 1. So in the first quadrant, we have x times x, which is, hopefully you said x squared. And remember that we use the little caret symbol because I don't have a squared button on this. Somebody tells me some do, but I don't. All right, in the next one, we get to hum my favorite tune. You have a number times the letter, and you squish it together. Right? Okay, so what's going to go in this spot? All right, hopefully you said 4x. Right, down here, we've got negative 1, and we're multiplying it by x. So negative 1 times x. Negative 1x. Right? And then in the last quadrant, we've got 4 times negative 1. Okay, and 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. So we take all of these out and we type it all up, right? We look at all the possibilities. So we have x squared plus 4x minus 1x. My fingers are all over the place today. Minus 4, right? And then Dora, what's the next thing that we're going to do? We're going to combine like terms. So I know that I can combine the two things right here that are the like terms, right? So I'm going to go ahead and combine those. If I had 4 bananas and I subtracted 1 banana, I'd end up with 3 bananas. So my answer at the end should be x squared plus, because there's still 3 bananas left, 3x minus 4. Right, so that's our first one. Hopefully you did okay on that one. Now we're going to go ahead and do our second one, but we're going to use the FOIL method. So I'm just going to draw a line here so that you can keep track of the two areas, even though I'm not deleting off that other section. So our second equation is 2x. Okay, the phone rang, so I'm going to go ahead and try that over again. So what we're doing in the second one is we are doing 2x. Oh, I'm going to put them in parentheses so that I can keep that binomial together. 2x minus 1 and multiplying it by 3x minus 1. All right? So I'm going to use the FOIL method this time just because it adds some variety to our life. So FOIL is F-O-I, in case you didn't know how to spell FOIL. This is how you spell it, right? Where the F stands for first, the O stands for outer, the I stands for inner, and the L stands for last. So on the first one, what are we multiplying the first one by? Well, let's give it a color. Let's make it yellow. So our firsts are, Dora? That's right. Our firsts are 2x times 3x. I'm going to type it so that it looks nice and neat. 2x times 3x, right? That's 2 times x times 3 times x. I could even put more times little asterisks in here. So that our answer at the end, we're going to multiply the two numbers together. I'll pause, Dora, so you can answer me. That's right. We're going to multiply the two numbers together, so we're going to get 6, and then we're going to multiply x times x, and we're going to get x squared. All right, so those are our first. Our outer, what is the outer, Dora? That's right. The outer is going to be the 2x times -1. I'll type that up. 2 times x times -1, right? So we can multiply the two numbers together. So our answer at the end, -2x. I did not put an equal sign here in case that was of concern to anyone. I'll just draw a quick equal sign there. Okay. We're going to do the inners. Dora? That's right. The inner is -1 times 3x. So -1 times 3 times x. We can multiply the two numbers together, so we end up with -3x. And then we're going to do the last. What's left, Dora? That's right. -1 times -1. We got to always multiply those constants last. -1 times -1, or -1 squared, times -1. You can barely see that, but it's not a very hard multiplication problem. So I think you know that it ends up being +1. All right, so let's write out what we got at the end. We ended up with 2x squared minus 2x minus 3x plus 1. All right, Dora, what's our last step? Did you say combine like terms? Because I said combine like terms. Combine like terms. And our two like terms that we're going to go ahead and combine are, that's it, -2x and -3x. So if you take 2 steps backwards and then you take 3 more steps backwards, you're going to end up with 5 steps backwards minus 5x plus 1. All right? And that's our answer.